Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's September 30th, 2022. It's National Truth and Reconciliation Day here in Canada, so it's a holiday. I don't have to work, but that also means that no new mail is coming in. So I have mail for 4 days, which is this stack I have to show you. 10 pieces of mail came in, 1 official postcard came in. If you don't know what National Truth and Reconciliation Day is, stick around to the end, because yesterday I talked about a new stamp that came out, or a new set of stamps that came out for this holiday. I wasn't able to get them yesterday when I shot the video, but after I did get to stop at a post office and get these. So I'm going to show you those at the end of the video, so you have to wait to see that, and we'll explain a little bit about the holiday. All right, so let's start with the official one. The only official one I got was this one from Germany, and show you on the back. We've got one of the new cool Spider-Man stamps there. The stamp here with the mailbox, that's pretty cool. Really like that. Yeah, actually I didn't notice all the details around it too, so I'll show you that again. This is stamp it sideways. I like that. I like that a lot. But it's nice to get the new Spider-Man one as well, and it got it as a block stamp, so you can see it still has the border around the whole thing, so that's kind of nice. So that doesn't say who it's from on this, unfortunately, so thank you anyways to the person that sent that to me. All right, now let me show you some of the swap and friend mail that came in, starting with this amazing stamp. For those of you who are stamp collectors, this is probably the most well-known misprint of a stamp, where the regular stamp is right, but the image in the center is upside down. So this came from Lila. She sent it, look at that postmark over top of the stamp there. So yeah, it's nice to get more kindness, more surprise cards from Lila, so thank you so much for that. All right, the following card comes from Smokey in Wisconsin, who was at the Wisconsin Dells. He was on a trip and sent me this postcard while he was away. And he included some of the new Cars stamps that have come out in the United States. So I did get one of these last week, just one, but it's nice to get a couple different ones. And the bunny. And down there you can see Smokey's stamp. So you can check out Snail Mail with Smokey on YouTube. I'm sure he'd appreciate it, and subscribe. Yeah, help support the community. All right, we've got this card came in. This is from Kayla in Maine, and she created her own World Postcard Day, which is tomorrow, October the 1st. So don't forget to save a slot on your postcrossing.com so you can at least have one address to print off so you can get your little World Postcard Day badge. So I appreciate this, Kayla, that you sent me this card. Did a good job creating it. So cute. And you'll notice I'm doing something a little different. You've got a hedgehog on the sticker that has my address on it. I'm doing something a little different. I'm taking advice from my brother once again. He was the one who originally said, you should put sticky notes over the address, because I was trying to hold it with my hand. And that seemed to go off well. It's actually exploded in the community. I know a lot of post-crossers now are using the sticky notes when showing their videos. So thank you to my brother for suggesting that and making it go a little bit viral. But what he did suggest, because I was saying I would get through sticky notes quite often, he says, why don't you take some recipe cards? So that's what I'm doing. You don't lose the sticky. You can reuse the cards over and over again. I just put a little piece of tape that I can peel off, and then you can add another piece of tape on there, and then that way I'm not going through as much waste. I'm not gonna going through all that paper. Like, a beautiful sticky note's great to have a little note on it, but you use it once, and I've tried to save them and use them a couple times, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but the sticky does go away quickly. So I'm gonna try it now with these recipe cards and see how it works. So thank you for the advice, and any of you guys out there that have your own channels, if you want to try it as well, go for it. Let's try to save some paper. All right, the next card comes from Yulia in Russia. She's recently moved to St. Petersburg and starting her new life there. Her daughter's in college there, so that is fantastic. And look at these stamps. Wow, they're gorgeous. All the gold on them. I love seeing the this pictorial Russian stamps that come out. There's great designs, some great artwork that are in there. So thank you, Yulia, for that, and enjoy your new life in St. Petersburg. All right, this next one is a special card. Comes from the Ukraine, another person that has reached out to me through Instagram and asked to trade. And so she lives with her family in Kiev, or Kiev. There's different pronunciations for it, but so the capital city of the Ukraine. So far, they're doing well. On the back, she put her little Ukrainian flag there and explained it in case people didn't know what the colors meant. The blue is for the sky, and the yellow is for the fields of wheat. So I would have assumed that it was fields of sunflowers based on all the sunflowers coming from the Ukraine. But good to know that I learned something new. Fields of wheat is what the yellow stands for on the back. There, give you a shot of the Ukrainian stamps as well. So thank you so much, Lyra, for sending me that postcard and doing an exchange with me. All right, my next one comes from Petra in the UK. She's got some older stamps she put on the envelope. These are from the Royals. This is her favorite Royal, and her son is actually named after him. And I really like these funny stamps here where you can add little pieces to it, like a Mr. Potato Head. So inside, she sent me this card. You see these nuts that fall off the trees and the conch shells, we call them here. I actually have a tree just down the street from where I live. Someone has this, and you can find these all over the ground. So that's cool. And then she sent me this blank postcard. Her and her husband went to Vienna and had a nice holiday. And while she was there, she got an extra blank one. So thank you, Petra, for that. All right, my next card comes from Media in Finland, and she's included some new stamps. This one we've seen before, but this one I haven't seen before. A very cool image, the statue and the bubble, the image inside. You really need a magnifying glass to get all the details that are inside that. But inside, she sent me a 1,000 Shen postcard. So this is the second one I've gotten from her, because she sent me one for my early birthday. And then now she found another one to send. So I'm very fortunate that she's sending these. And then the other one she sent is a little hedgehog having a sniff of the flowers, enjoying the springtime. So thank you, Media, for sending those to me. All right. The next envelope comes from Shara in British Columbia. Shara sent two things, actually. She sent me this box, too, but she said it's for my birthday. I said I could open it when I wanted to, and did have to do a video about it. But what I've decided to do, because my birthday's still a few weeks away, I'm going to set it aside and let the anticipation grow before I go into it. But Shara sent some postcards that she found. So she went into a shop and found some. So I want to show you the postcards that she sent. That one. And this little cheeky one. Kid having a good time, living his best life. This one here, the blue and the gray, a Civil War postcard. This one here, this is a scene of Gettysburg, another Civil War postcard. You have this one here, a scene in old California, a little bit of a Wild West look to it. This one not so much with the new cars in it, but you can see Route 66 on that. And then we have a fish. And a beautiful old medieval cobblestone walkway. And here we have this animal. Am I looking at a walrus maybe? And then a gorilla. And a beautiful horse. So that's a variety of different postcards. I'm going to fit a whole bunch of different niches, so thank you so much, Shara, for that. I will add them to the collection, and they will go out to someone who will enjoy them, hopefully. The last one I have is this envelope that comes from Linda. Look at the lighthouses. Nice stamps there. And this one will be a two-parter, but I'm going to show you the postcards. She sent this one here of a ticket stub from a U2 concert. She knows I like U2, so she sent me that. She sent me this one here, a Beatles postcard. This is a blank, so it can go back out. And the last one's a blank too. It's a Rolling Stones tour postcard. Nice thick postcards. And that's going to be the tease for that. She's also sent some stamps, so I'm going to show you that in another video later in the week. Probably Monday. Monday's usually when I do my stamps video, so I'm going to put that aside. All right, so that was my mail for the week. Thank you so much to everybody who sent stuff in. And hopefully you guys are all working on World Postcard Day tomorrow. I've got a ton. I still am rating postcards. I've got lots of them here. But I would say I'm better than half completed. I do have addresses I'm going to have to pull tomorrow to get my World Postcard badge and write those up as well. And then get all the stuff to the mail. So I want to make sure I have all the cards that I already know where they're going, completed and ready for tomorrow. And then I'll only have to write up my officials. That being said, let's move on to the stamps of World Truth and Reconciliation Day. So this is a holiday that was started last year. For those of you who have been watching some of the Canadian news over the last few years, Canada wasn't in very good light when it came to be that the educational houses that we had for Aboriginal people, they were finding a whole bunch of children's bodies over the years. So, yeah, thousands. Not funny. That was a laugh of, or a giggle of, I don't know what it is. Sadness, I guess, really is what all it is that this was happening, and those people that knew it was happening were speaking up and nobody was listening, and the rest of the people that didn't know anything about it just went on their ways. So when it came to light about this, we had to figure out what we were going to do, how we were going to go forward and be respectful of what's happened in the past and listen to people going forward. So this holiday came about. Orange is the color to represent this day. Yesterday in the schools, kids were asked to wear orange. Today, people are asked to wear orange if you have it. I don't have any orange, so unfortunately I don't. So I'm doing this part of the video in order to talk about it. So I want to read the back of this first. It says, First Nations, that's the Inuit and the Métis children, were forced to attend federally created Indian residential schools, which operated for nearly a century and a half. More than 150,000 children were taken from their families and communities, many never to return. So this stamp issue is the first in a series showcasing the artistic visions of Inuit, Métis, and First Nations artists for the future of truth and reconciliation. Let me open it up and show you. These are fantastic. They use the orange in the lettering of Canada. Each stamp is done by a different artist. And what he says here, clockwise from the top, we have the First Nations artist Jackie Traveris reminds us that for a bountiful future of harvest, we must share the sun, water, and land. Inuit artist Gail Kabluna, the woman lighting a stone lamp, signifies care and healing for all indigenous communities. The Métis artist Kim Gideon Stewart issued floral beadwork to show the need to live symbolically with the land, nature, and each other. And then Canadian designer Blair Thompson's crying hands offer a dual perspective of Indigenous people and settlers. The Indigenous child looks out from beyond the hands to reinforce the message that we must never look away again. So there's some powerful stamps. They are beautifully well done. The language on them is in English, French, and Inuit. I wish I could say more about them, but on the bottom it says, the road we travel is equal in importance to the destination we seek. There are no shortcuts. When it comes to truth and reconciliation, we are forced to go the distance. That was said by the Honorable Murray Sinclair, Chair of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee of Canada. I should have put my glasses on to read these. The print is kind of small, so I apologize for stumbling over some of the words. But hopefully you will enjoy those stamps, and those of you that receive them hopefully will enjoy them. So I got a couple packs of those in honor of today, and I'm sure I'll get more as time goes on, but I did want to have it just to be able to speak about it today, and the importance. Not everything is about the fun of post-crossing and the hobbies that we have. We also have to take note that serious things happen in our lives and around our lives, and things like standing up for the Ukraine is one of the things that many of us try to do and speak vocally about. And then the other thing we have to speak about of tragedies and things that happen within our own countries, within our own borders, stuff that we can't just let continue to happen, but make a stand and move forward in a positive way. So on that note, I'm going to say, have a magical week. Oh, and don't forget, leave a question on That Dad Guy Answers, because that's tomorrow's assignment, as well as putting out postcards for World Postcard Day. I'm still going to put out my video answering your questions, so if you've got a few questions, leave them in the comments of That Dad Guy Answers last video from last Saturday. All right, this time, have a magical week.
What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?